What's up, y'all? We're back with Is That a Read?
Is that a read?
Oh, yes, a read. This is the show where we take this week's hottest pop culture topic, but we give it a psychic spin. Now, I'm your girl, Victoria. I'm the queen of all things tarot. And this is my co host, Julian.
Hey, I got my cards and I'm ready to read this
Well,
week's hot
let's
topic.
let's get to reading then. So the first topic on the docket we're gonna talk about is y'all, Britney Spears done twisted her ankle. Julian, tell us what you need to know about this story.
Well, Britney Spears is my girl. I've loved her since I was, I want to say in college. I saw her show at MGM in Las Vegas. It was a great time. So there's a special place in my heart for Brit. But this week she was at the Chateau Marmont with her new boyfriend, Richard Solis. And the headline was that she got into a fight at the Chateau Marmont and that they had to, um, sorry, Britney Spears is safe at home after a fight at the Chateau Marmont. And the thing is, there was no fight. They called the paramedics to come up because she actually did twist her ankle. But my girl Brit, she refused the paramedics from coming in. She didn't want them around. She said she was being harassed. So there was no fight. She actually went onto Instagram later to kind of say that what happened was she was trying to do a leap and she twisted her ankle. And that's kind of what happened. So I believe that because, we've all seen Britney Spears' Instagram. She be dancing, she be going crazy. So it doesn't feel far-fetched that she actually leaped and broke her ankle. The other thing that they were saying is she left the next day with her security, but without her boo. So I think they were trying to allude to the fact that they were on the outs. But according to her Instagram, they're fine. It was all something else. And during her rant, she was just saying that she wants to learn how to lie because telling the truth all the time is hard. She also was like, P.S. I need an espresso. And our girl Britt wants to move to Boston. This is all in the same rant about the twisting ankle Chateau Marmont story. There's a lot going on. I know Britney's been through a lot. Her divorce with Sam Asghari is over. She finally finalized that, and also the settlement with the conservatorship. And she has her new man, Richard, which I'm just going to say this. I actually looked him up. He does look different from Sam Asghari, but there's some similarities in the face. So I'm all like, I don't know if she's just, trying to rekindle that feeling with Sam through this guy, Richard, but I don't know. Victoria, what were your thoughts on this? What stood out to you in this article?
This sounds just like Britney Spears. This is just a bunch of drama. Britney Spears is your girl, Julianne. Britney Spears is not my girl. I mean, I'm not against Britney. I grew up enjoying Britney's music as well. I want only the best for Britney, but I do believe Britney needs some support. Like, we all need to rally around Britney because she's going through a lot, y'all. She just got divorced from Sam, as Julian said, and she twisted her ankle literally hours after the divorce was finalized. So I agree with you, Julian. They may have said it was a fight, but obviously the yelling and screaming was her being like, yes, I'm out. Woo-hoo. And then she took a leap of joy and then fell down wrong and twisted her ankle. But what I will say is whoever reported the injury, I really do think that Britney does be in Chateau Mama arguing with her boyfriend, Richard Solis, because they wouldn't just speculate. Either they yelling and screaming and having to enjoy all the time, or they normally are arguing. And that's why the story came out like that. Maybe this time they weren't arguing, but maybe normally they are arguing. Now, the thing that really got me was that Britney, number one, you twisted your ankle. The paramedics come to help you. And your response is that you are being illegally harassed and you won't let them in your room. Why are they harassing you, Britney? Because you're Black? Is that what's going on? Is it harassment? And it's illegal? Since when is it illegal for the paramedics to come to your door when you have an injury? So you're going to call 911 on 911. Okay, Britney. We're with you. I did look up that statement from her Instagram, Julian, because it was raw and raunchy. She put that she is reaching her higher power. I think that's why she was leaping, so she could reach that higher power. And unfortunately, she just came down wrong. So she's still a goddess, you guys. She's just a goddess with a big old swollen, broken ankle. This is a mess. I would say
I don't even know what to read at this point.
like it's such a mess. I would say I'm calling all the angels to be there for Britney Spears' boyfriend, because boy, you got a handful on you. And also I would like to say that Britney, if you're lucky enough that 911 actually answers your calls when you call in LA, like you should be grateful. Don't be sending them people away, because they never answer when I call. I got a couple of questions.
Tell me, what is it?
Because you're a Britney advocate, so you don't believe that there was a fight. I think probably not a fight that night. I want to know if Britney and her boyfriend had loud fights in the past that might have brought on those accusations. I want to know that. And I want to know, was Britney BSing when she said she's going to Boston? Or is she really going to go to Boston, get in her car and go down to Boston and have some lobster roll?
I don't know what would bring her to Boston in the first place. I've been to Boston. I loved it. It's a great city. But what would Brit do in Boston? Like that would be my question to add on to if she's going to Boston. So why don't you take the Boston one? I'll check on my girl to see if she's fighting with her man. Sorry, his name is not Richard.
Paul Richard Solis.
Paul Richard Solis. Okay. And honestly, like, I mean, this is before I pull any cards. By the way, I'm using the Lenormand Oracle. I could see them fighting because Britney's at a point in her life where she's unfiltered. She's going to say what's on her mind because she's been so like cooped up and told what to say. So, you know, it's kind of hard to live in your truth all the time, I guess, and hearing that from people.
It's so hard for our perfect angel, Britney, who can do no wrong, no matter what she does. It's all her living her authentic, beautiful self.
Okay, I want to say, have they fought in the past? Yeah, argued. Was it at the Chateau Marmont? No, it was a celebration, literally, because we have the tower and we have the child. So the tower could be the hotel, and the child is like jumping for joy. I'm free. I'm ready. You know, the conservatorship, the divorce, all finalized. She was just having a good time. As far as like, are they arguing? I want to say yeah, but it's all in good play and good fun. She's definitely going through something because we have the snake that's about letting go. But we do have the dog. So it's saying like, I feel like he lets her kind of do her thing and like, because they'll argue, but I don't think he's taking it personally. You know what I mean? But he also isn't taking things from Britney either. So it does come off as an argument, but it's all in good fun. It's growing pains of a relationship, because the next thing that I see is we have the coffin and then we have the broom. That's why I'm saying it's a growing pain, because to move to the next level of this relationship, because through this transition, you're going to have to go through these arguments to kind of like see what's next. And I do see things moving forward with them, because we do have the stork and we have the ship. That's things finally changing and moving forward for the better. So do they argue? Sure. Is it Britney's fault? Probably.
I thought you were going to say no, because you're Britney's number one defense attorney. But I mean, I'm rooting for their relationship. If Britney's happy, I'm happy for her. If she likes it, I love it. Just don't be arguing down my street, because I will call the police.
Ooh,
all right.
If they come.
That's true. I'll be waiting. Okay, so I'm going to look into, is Britney really moving to Boston, or is she just BSing? All right, so I'm using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot cards, and I've got the 4 of Earth, the 9 of Water, the King of Earth. Okay, so with this, what I get is she really does want to go to Boston. Like maybe she's visited Boston and she really enjoyed it. And so now she had a rough day. she had a rough time, and she's like, you know what? I need to move to Boston because LA is doing the most with the least, and I don't love it. So it's a dream of hers. And she is excited about possibly doing a move, but she's kind of thinking, how's my money going to look if I live in Boston? That's the only thing that's getting in the way. I think her man would be keen to do it as well. What would she do in Boston? She's going to still be at home. This is the hermit. She's not going to be able to get out much. Unfortunately, Britney Spears is a really popular lady. And then I've got the ego card here. So she's got a lot that she's working out, a lot from her past that she still hasn't fully resolved. And so she's not as comfortable out there in crowds and out there really just letting herself be with the public just yet. So she might move to Boston, but unfortunately, she's going to be carrying the same baggage that she has in LA. So if you want to go to Boston, just make sure it's a short trip, Brittany, because you're still going to be bringing yourself and you still got some work to do, my dear. So just take it day by day. And one day we're going to look up and Britney Spears is going to be a guru because she already has reached her higher power. Okay.
She's a goddess. And so you're saying she's probably going to go to Boston, but there will be no Boston residency for a Britney concert.
No, because she's not going to really notice it. She feels like it's going to change her life, but it's not. It's going to be the same old, just in a different place. Right.
And I just want to remind everybody, this is for entertainment purposes only. Right. What's next?
So the next story we have is, I don't know if you guys have been watching Netflix, but if you have, the number one TV show on Netflix right now is a show called Baby Reindeer. So the story follows a comedian who is stalked for over a year by a woman named Martha. And here's the gist, you guys. It is based on a true story. In real life, this man received 41,071 emails, 744 tweets, 350 hours of voicemail. So if you're being stalked and your stalker isn't hitting it like this, maybe they don't like you enough. So it's a pretty good show. I've watched it. I loved it. And so did a lot of people. So many people that this show has clocked 53 million hours watched on Netflix. That's why it's number one. So all things look good, right? Wrong. Turns out all of these viewers, because it's a true story, started trying to find the real characters around this story, including Martha, the stalker. And apparently they found her. And now viewers are stalking Martha. Martha is pissed. She has come out of hiding and she is ready to sue Netflix. Her accusations are the portrayal of her is inaccurate, it's damaging. She's claiming the actress that played her don't look nothing like her. She said she's an attorney and she will represent herself in court. And apparently she might have a case. According to a lawyer that specializes in defamation, hey, Netflix could have done a lot more to conceal her identity. They could have made the character a man. They could have made sure that the character wasn't an attorney. I don't know. Does she have a case, Julian?
I don't know. Again, Netflix is a big corporation, big company. So they probably have a team of lawyers that probably picked through this tooth and comb to make sure that this thing would not happen. But yeah, I don't know. The other things that she's going to represent herself, from what I read. And her reasonings for winning are kind of things like, I have a photographic memory and I could memorize big files. I was top of my class in everything. Like, I don't know how much as credentials and proof that you're a good lawyer and she'll be able to represent herself. A few things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is like, she called the actress who played her fat and unattractive. And then she's complaining that she wanted this to be a more accurate portrayal, but then she also doesn't want to be found. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want it to look different than you? Do you want it to be more accurate of who you are? So that kind of confused me right there. Does she have a case? I want to say she has a case. Whether she's going to win it because she's representing herself, my personal opinion would be no. But we could definitely ask the cards for that. The other question I'm wondering is like, what is gonna happen to Mr. Gad, the writer of the show, after this? You know what I mean? Like, is there any repercussions that he's gonna get? And that's
Well,
what I want.
as far as I'm concerned, I empathize with the character Martha. You know, this is a real life situation that she's been through. And actually the real life person who alleges that she is the Martha character. Her name is Fiona Harvey. And she's saying that she's received death threats. And so somebody's got to answer for that. Like, if you've watched the show, she is not a likable character by any means. She's done some really horrible things, but there's also a lot of gray in that situation. And she's trying to say that basically the whole story is not being told. So she's portraying, and what's being told, she said that he's actually was obsessed with her. He said, she said, as far as I'm concerned. What I said is, let's read these cards. So, Julian, which question do you want? I think I'll let you. I want to find out if she's gonna get some money. I think she deserves some money personally. I mean, I think you made some valid points. But if I were her, I would want some money. If somebody's trying to telling me they're gonna kill me, somebody better write me a check, because my feelings got hurt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think that's cool to be getting death threats. And also, like, what the creator has also said, that like she was a victim in all this too. You know what I mean? She was struggling with some mental health issues, so no one should be vilified for that. But yeah, let's see what's going on with Richard Gad and all this mess that's been going on with his. I mean, it must be really hard because you get this #1 show on Netflix, and then you get like this lawsuit. It's like, you mixed feelings, mixed emotions. Let's see.
You know what P. Diddy said? More money, more problems.
This is true. Let's see. I want to say he's going to be fine. Money. Fish is about money in this deck. The bouquet is just about more blessings coming to him. So it's already got good traction. He's getting critical acclaim for the show. If you haven't seen it yet, there's so much vulnerability in it too. It is a really good show that I really do enjoy. I did enjoy. I feel like he does feel for her. There are things that he didn't put in the show, because here's the secrets and here's the woman. So there's things there. Was he looking out for her best interest as well? I want to say yeah, because we have here, like, I think this lawsuit is making him nervous though. You know what I mean? Because I feel like he is a little hard on himself, and he did not want to have this person get these death threats and things like that. But other than that, he's going to be fine. As far as like money wise, whatever, I don't think he's going to get any repercussions as far as like legal, like from Martha. It's going to ruin his career in any way. I think his star power is just going up and up. So, yeah.
Well, that's good news. That's good news for him. I'm glad to hear that. And you know, one thing, if nothing else, she's suing Netflix, so at least she's not trying to personally. And she's threatening, so she may or may not follow through with the lawsuit. But I'm gonna look at if she does follow through with the lawsuit. Is she gonna get some money?
All
like
right.
Julian said, this is for entertainment purposes only. But for entertainment purposes only, if Fiona Harvey follows through with their lawsuit, will she get some money? All right, so I've got the 9 of air, the 10 of water, and the 7 of air. I don't see her actually following through with the lawsuit. I think she's really stressed out about this whole situation. I think this is another appeal to reach out for attention, maybe even from our main character, Richard. And the 7 of air kind of represents, she's still going up in her head about the whole situation. I think it's a fantasy at this point. I also think she doesn't have the resources, 4 of earth, to actually make a stand. Now, I do feel like she's going to be reached out to by other attorneys that may be willing to actually take her case and try to get some money, because they might see the dollar signs popping up. But I feel like she's going to walk away from that. Number one, she has her own confidence. She wants to do it herself. And also, I think deep down, it's really more of appeal for attention than it is an actual lawsuit that she's going to file. So we'll look out and see what happens. We'll keep our ear to the pavement on this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Julian, did you have something else to say about this one?
No, I just hope those threats end for her. No one deserves that.
All right. So the last story for the evening, this one, you guys, kind of blew me away. Harvey Weinstein's conviction was overturned this week. I had no idea that this was still up in the air. I mean, they really, really, really were playing behind the scenes on this appeal. Mm-hmm. So it was a really tough decision. The ruling was 4-3 to overturn his conviction in New York. And basically what they determined was that the judge in that case prejudiced the jury by allowing testimony of SA, you guys know what I'm talking about, of women, but the accusations weren't part of the charges against him. So basically what they're saying is we were charging him with these things for these women, and y'all brought a whole team of other women to accuse him of doing it. And these other women, he hadn't been convicted of doing anything to these women. And so it created an idea in the jury's mind that this man must be guilty because look at all this other stuff he did. And in the court of law, that is not allowed. And so that's why the charges got dropped against him. It's interesting because when it comes to the judicial system, if you've studied law, if you've learned about law, one thing you know for sure, law is not about morals. It's not about fairness. It's about rules. And it's about following the guidelines that are established. And in this case, technicality got Harvey Weinstein off. So he has been released from a New York prison so he can go straight to prison in LA, you guys. That's right. So convicted in California, he's got 16 years and he has to go and do that time too. So don't feel too bad. Your boy Harvey is still going to jail. There's a lot to be said about the Me Too movement too, but let me go to you, Julian, because I don't want to swallow all of this up. Like, what are your thoughts? Harvey Weinstein took one half of a puff of free air before he went right back to another scale.
I mean, for me, I'm glad that he still has jail time to answer for in California, even though this has got overturned. I do believe that, due process is important. You know what I mean? So he did get off on that technicality. They are going to try, from what I said, they're thinking about retrying the case. So it's not over yet. And you know what? Even though it's kind of like a blow to the Me Too movement, like it kind of gave more attention to the Me Too movement again. So hopefully those give some traction, to that movement. This case was it was a game changer for Hollywood, you know what I mean? And things that you could and could not do. But yeah, Harvey's also 76 years old. So he's serving a 16-year sentence. He'll probably be in there for the rest of his life. I think they should, I would love them to retry the case just because I feel like those people should find justice in their own way on that case in New York as well. Maybe do it with more due diligence, I guess, and kind of make it ironclad so that this doesn't happen again. So yeah, like Harvey's still in it. And I think this is just giving more attention to the Me Too movement again. So hopefully there's a resurgence of getting on board.
And I agree. Like, I'm glad that it's bringing more attention to the Me Too movement because we got to keep our feet on these people's necks. Like, that's just the way it works. Like, I do feel like the media attention, the court of public opinion found Harvey Weinstein guilty immediately. And it definitely did prejudice the jury. And it allowed for him to be convicted when they did kind of step over the red tape just a little bit to get that done. But at the same time, like you said, Julian, I'm glad this brought it to attention because I think we need to put some more spotlight on the fact that, this type of behavior cannot continue. You guys better get ready because even if your conviction gets overturned, you still going to jail. Okay. So
just in a different state.
All of y'all predators out there that feel like this is a victory, y'all at the sports bar celebrating your little, Jesus Harvey Weinstein got released. Don't be getting confident. Don't think you about to come out here and start acting up again, because we ain't having it. It's a new day. We going in, Bows. The wall. We're not playing with y'all anymore. P. Diddy, everybody, okay? Be on notice. We ready for you. Okay, so let's look at a couple of things with this. Oh, and New York, I will say, like, New York, part of me is like, bring the case just out of principle alone. But they're trying to, Harvey is a big fish. They're trying to catch a whale. They got Donald Trump that they're trying to bury. I want them to put all the resources they possibly have towards this Trump case. But in the meantime, if they can, let's bring Harvey Weinstein down just on principle alone, and for the victims, for them to feel like they have justice. But I just want y'all to know, the judicial system is not about true justice. Your justice is, we know what happened to you. Never again. We're going to make sure that this world has changed. The system has changed. So, okay. So what do we want to know? I would say I want to know, is this actually a good or bad thing for the Me Too movement? Will this ultimately be a positive or a negative impact for the Me Too movement?
Okay. And I could definitely do that. And also, we already know he's going to be in jail. Like, I don't think he's going to make it out. So I don't think we need to know more about Harvey. But what's next for the Me Too movement? I would love for you to look into, like, after the fact. Like, what are the next steps or things that are going to happen that either going to be good or bad? So
I'm going to throw one more question to you.
Sure.
Will Harvey Weinstein ever get out of jail before he dies?
Okay. Cool. Let me do the Harvey Weinstein, because I feel like that would be like a quicker one, and then I'll do the, was this a good or bad thing? All right. Nah. Look, we have the man, we have the mountain, and the ring. The ring. So when I read these two together, it says it's committed. Like, he's committed to this problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way out. Like, so he's probably gonna be in jail. There's no other fresh of breath air. There was no child card, which would be like freedom. But was this a good thing for the Me Too movement? Let's go see. Yeah. Okay. So what we have here is we have the stork and we have the broom. So this saying to me, the way that they're going to move forward with cases like this, they are going to clean up the way that they move forward. So maybe not leave things open-ended, where the technicalities could come up. Bad press, all press is good press. Why can't I do this right? Because we do have, it was a problem, but the birds are about gossip. So people are going to be talking about the Me Too movement. It's going to open up some doors, some open roads. So I feel like when I look at this, the key is opening up to open roads. I feel like this is more about maybe opening to more people, like wanting to be part of the movement, more people who maybe have even more clout, maybe even more resources to do this. And the next thing we have here is like, we have the bouquet and we have the scythe, and this is like reaping in more blessings. Like this was saying, so it was a good thing, and the blessings could just be, actually, like, is it maybe like change in laws? I was kind of what I'm feeling, to make this a lot more, not easier, but what is it? Is it like making things more known about how to fight for justice when it comes to SA? You know what I mean?
That's awesome. And I feel like that answers the question for what's next for the Me Too movement. So I'm wondering, is there another question that maybe we can have about this situation? Okay, I'm going to ask, is New York going to retry this case? That's a simple. Is New York going to bring this case again, or are they just blowing smoke up our behinds, telling us that that they have the right to retry this case?
Right, but you said it though. They have bigger fish to fry right now too.
So let's see. Is New York going to retry the Harvey Weinstein case? Let's see. King of Earth, Awakening, Six of Earth. Not right now. I don't see this happening because the person that has the ability to pull the green light and allow the resources to go to retrying this case, they feel like their hands are tied. They're at a standstill with the ability to allow the resources to be put in that case. They're trying to spread them evenly. And a lot of the influence here is the momentum, public momentum. So until there's like a rallying cry around this Harvey Weinstein thing, they don't have enough momentum to justify retrying this case. So I think for now, they're going to leave it as a possibility, but they're not going to take much action on it. More than talk.
Okay, that makes sense. And maybe they're going to be like Harvey's team and like work in the shadows for a little bit while it's quiet and then come back hard when, maybe when that 16-year mark of Harvey's sentence is almost over.
All right.
All about timing.
We've got, this one was pretty a doozy. Like, I'm not going to lie, you guys. It brought the energy down a little bit. But, we want to bring it up. This is the time where we show our appreciation to you, our viewers. It's the inspirational reading. So we're going to read each other for the coming week. And then we're going to give you, sound like a Sesame Street character. We're going to give you a reading as well for the week. Just some good positive energy to set your week off. So, Julian, you want me to read you first?
Sure. And while you're shuffling or whatever, I just want you to know that last week you told me to have fun, and I actually did this week, and it's actually really uplifting, and it really opened my eyes to how I want to kind of like live my life. So thank you for that last week.
I appreciate that, Julian. And for me, mine was about follow my heart, which I did. Which honestly, I'm glad that you gave it to me because it was really hard. Like I didn't realize like how much I tried to not listen to myself, to do what I'm supposed to do as opposed to what I really want to do. But I took action to do what I really wanted to do this week. And it was a good exercise. I'm not going to lie.
Hey,
all right. So for inspirational reading, I'm switching it up a little bit, you guys, this time. This is the Getting into the Vortex cards by Abraham Hicks. You guys ever heard of Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks? Check them out on YouTube. They might blow your mind. Anybody that does know about them, if you know, you know. All right. So
I know.
What message do you have for Julian for this week? I'm gonna do one card for Julian for this coming week. What is the message?
Hit me.
The message for you, Julian, is I can praise abundance whenever I see it. If you seek financial well-being for yourself, you must praise it wherever you see it. If you would like more abundance for yourself personally or for others you care about, you must not criticize those who are experiencing abundance. When you criticize or condemn or push against anything, you activate an opposing vibration to what you seek. Every time, no exceptions. So this coming week for you, Julian, is about setting a rule set for yourself when it comes to your abundance. If you want to bring in more financial abundance, what they're asking you to do is take it more generally. So when you think about abundance, don't think about money. Think about, I have an abundance of oxygen to breathe. I have an abundance of time in this life. I have an abundance of everything that I need to survive is in abundance. And notice it constantly. And if you do that this week, you're going to be on the right track. And if you have any negative association that comes with people that have abundant finances, reverse. That's your homework for this week.
I love that. All right. I'm going to be living in my abundance this week. Everything I could see. Thank you for that message. I'm going to see how it goes this week. And for you, I'm using the numerology guidance cards by Michelle Buchanan. And I'll pull one card just for you. And your card is Teaching and Learning, number 57. So, teaching and learning. I want to say, I feel like you're supposed to be learning on the job right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like going through the motions and actually doing it is how you're going to figure out what the next step is. Like, I don't think you don't need to plan anymore. I feel like the teaching part of this is saying that you have a bunch of skill sets that are applicable to the thing that you want to do. So know that you have that and you're carrying that with you. The things that you don't know, you're just going to have to do it now. Like, no more research, because you are an expert in different things, and there's a balance that needs to kind of happen so that you could feel confident in stepping into that new reality that you've been trying to create for yourself. Does that make sense to you?
It definitely makes sense. And the more you clarified, it made even more sense. Definitely this applies to my creative side of my life. And so I am going to use it. And it is more about doing. And I think that I need to acknowledge that. So thank you. I will, and I'll practice it. All right. So now it's you guys' turn. I'm going to give you your reading for the coming week. And I'm going to give you 2 cards from Abraham Hicks, Getting Into the Vortex Oracle. Okay. So card number 1 is inspired action is always pleasurable action. And card number 2 is my true success is measured by my alignment. Okay, so in combination, what these cards mean is in this coming week, you're going to have the opportunity to follow your guidance. And by say guidance, your gut instinct. What do you really want to do? What is the thing that feels the most good when you think about doing it? Take action on that. If it's as simple as I would rather eat an apple than a banana, eat the apple. Whatever you would rather do that, and realize that's you being in alignment. And if you keep making choices that go with your alignment, you're going to keep getting more and more guidance that leads you to even more of what you really want out of your life. Once you start trusting that your inner guidance is really leading you in the right direction. So, and then also, more importantly, you're going to enjoy it a lot better, and you'll enjoy your life a lot better. So follow your gut. Follow what feels like the best feeling thing to do. Just take that action in every choice you can make this week.
I love that. And something that resonated was what is it? Inspired action is supposed to be fun?
It's always pleasurable action. Inspired action is always pleasurable action.
Okay. I have to remember that for myself, because sometimes I'd be thinking I'm inspired and then like I'm struggling to do it and I'm like, oh, then it wasn't really inspired. That's probably from ego. All right. For everyone, okay, this is very general, but for everyone out there, the healing is the card, 66. So I'm going to read from the book, because sometimes there's some good nuggets in here. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to expand and understanding of the healing arts. You're an energetic being with natural ability to heal. So when you focus on being of service, the universe will guide you where you're needed most. Set the intention to heal or be healed, and you'll be shown the next logical step. The affirmation for this week is, as I heal myself and others, I raise the vibration of the world. So I know we all want to do a lot of great things in the world. We want to accomplish a lot of things, but I think the healing card is just saying, like, look inward this time. Like, what are the internal blocks that's keeping you from doing those things? I want to say, what I'm picking up on this, I feel like it's more of mental blocks that people are having out there right now. So maybe that affirmation will be really important. That's a great way to like reprogram your brain mentally to change things so that I am healed, you are healing. Or if there's a problem that you specifically know, like maybe positive self-talk, looking in the mirror, you know, kind of like hyping yourself up. You know what I mean? Sometimes we need somebody to give us all gas and no brakes. So if you need that, call a friend to tell them how great you are. And yeah, that's the message for the week.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, you guys, you got your homework, you got your things to look out for in this coming week. So if you notice any of that, put it in the comments. If you like what you saw today, don't be shy. Like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be here with you guys every week going over the hottest news stories. So I've had fun. Julian, why don't you close us out?
All right. Today was a really fun day, and I'm glad to be with you guys here every week. And we will see you next week with more hot topics and some psychic reads. Have a good weekend. Bye.